For most people, Cloudian's Storm Dragon is not all that special. But for me, it represents the final step in a collection journey I started almost a full year ago, and with this card, I am now the proud owner of a full first edition set of Light of Destruction. Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and I hope that you are having a great day because I am certainly having a great day. The final card I needed for a collection is finally here, which means I get to talk about my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh set of all time, Light of Destruction. First releasing way back in 2008, Light of Destruction was the final GX era Yu-Gi-Oh set before 5Ds came along with the Duelist Genesis. Light of Destruction is perhaps one of the greatest send-offs to an era that Yu-Gi-Oh's ever had. Not only did it provide support for a bunch of existing card types and decks, but it also gave us one of the most iconic archetypes of all time in the Lightsworns. Several cards first printed in this set have since gone on to become fan favorites, receiving multiple reprints over the years, as well as inspiring several decks since they came out. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Light of Destruction is one of the most popular sets of all time. In fact, it's so popular that earlier this year, it received a full reprint as part of Yu-Gi-Oh's ongoing 25th anniversary celebration, and notably, it's the only GX set to be reprinted for this celebration. I think this reprint is pretty great because it gives newer players to the game and people who weren't really around back in 2008 a chance to collect some of these cards. And trust me when I say they are very much worth collecting because Light of Destruction has some of the most beautiful cards ever produced for Yu-Gi-Oh! So there's a lot to go through with Light of Destruction, and I feel like I just kind of want to cover all the cards that are noteworthy in order. So I'm going to start right at the beginning with Guardian of Order, who is not particularly amazing as a card, but it is pretty beautiful. It's got a nice little effect that makes it easier to summon, but unfortunately it's right next to Honest, and Honest is the standout card in this set. It's one of the earliest hand traps in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame. It's an absolute all-star in the Edison format where dropping it on an opponent's attacking creature can win you the game on its own. And it's so good because this is the ghost rare for this set. That's right, Honest is the set's ghost rare, and it is absolutely freaking beautiful. I just love to look at that beautiful ghost foiling on Honest. That little rainbow effect it has just makes it absolutely stand out as a card. The next noteworthy card is actually a common. Volcanic Queen here is not a rare, not a super rare, not a secret rare or anything like that, but it's still a pretty useful card since it's got a pseudo lava golem effect, which means that this card actually saw quite a bit of play throughout the years, even if she's not the greatest. While Light of Destruction is better known for all of the Lightsworn monsters it introduces to the game, it also finished out most of the Arcana Force archetype, bringing us a bunch of the other commons, as well as the world in Ultra and Ultimate Rare, as well as the Dark Ruler, which is one of the boss monsters for the archetype, and is one of the few Arcana Force cards with a purely good effect. Most Arcana Force monsters force you to flip a coin when they're summoned, and the effect they get is based on the coin toss, with a good and a bad effect per monster. However, the Dark Ruler and the Light Ruler both just have good effects, with Dark Ruler either getting to attack twice or wiping the field when it's destroyed, which makes it the standout card of the archetype. I feel like I can't talk about Light of Destruction without talking about the Lightsworn archetype. These boys are my favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! They were my deck of choice for years, and whenever I get to play an Edison tournament, it's a Lightsworn deck that I go with. Let's go with some of the more notable ones. Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress, is both an ultra rare and an ultimate rare, and I feel like she's a good choice for ultimate rare because she's pretty amazing. She's just got such a pretty ultimate rare. It's just nice to look at. You can tap this creature to destroy a card your opponent controls, and I know I shouldn't really be giving a breakdown of what all the cards do, but for Lila, I feel like I kind of have to because she was just so playable, so universal in every Lightsworn deck, but not the most universal card because there are some that are just a bit more useful than her. One of those cards being Lumina over here, and could you believe that this was a rare in her first printing? It's absolutely wild to me because Lumina is one of the best Lightsworn monsters. She lets you discard a card once per turn to special summon a level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster from your graveyard. And even back then, and even today, I think that's a really powerful effect. And to have that effect on a rare rather than an ultra or even a super is just absolutely wild to me. So she's one of the best cards for the deck. And again, she was a rare? That's absolutely nuts. Other really good Lightsworn cards include this bad boy, Raikou, a super rare, as well as Wolf, a super rare. And these guys are, much like Lumina and Lila, kind of must-haves for any Lightsworn deck in the Edison format. On the next page, we have Celestia, Lightsworn Angel, who does see a lot of regular play in Lightsworn decks, and she also got an ultimate rare because she's just that good. Graganith, the Lightsworn Dragon, who doesn't see a whole lot of play, as well as my boy, Judgment Dragon. And if any of you have played against this guy in Edison, you understand that this is one of the best boss monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh history. It's just so powerful, so ubiquitous. The archetype absolutely loves him, and he's just got that beautiful secret rare on him. It's just such a great card. And let me tell you, dropping this on turn 1 or 2 against an opponent in Edison feels just absolutely great. You guys just don't know what you're missing if you've never played with this bad boy. I could gush about Judgment Dragon all day, but we're going to move on. Also on this page, we've got Unifrog and Substitute. Substitute being an absolute all-star in frog decks. And this was another card that I was really surprised was printed only as a rare rather than a super, ultra, or secret, because this is a really powerful effect. The ability to just kind of swap him out for another frog from your deck just made him a really popular and well-played card. Here we've got the Golden Ladybug and the Lady in White. Lady in White being just a nice piece of Skull Servant support, and Golden Ladybug just being an all-around pretty decent card that saw a bit of fringe play here and there throughout the game's history. Moving on, we've got some pretty decent fusions, as well as Phantom Dragon, which I'm not entirely sure why this got an ultimate rare instead of something else earlier on in the set, but it is a nice card. The ultimate rare looks pretty beautiful. But Destiny and Dragoon, however, getting an ultimate rare felt really right, as did Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, who looks... Gotta pull this bad boy out, too, just to show you guys. This ultimate rare, it looks pretty freaking dope. I'm gonna be just completely honest there. I didn't think that I would like this one as much as I ended up liking it, but let's take this even further out of the sleeve. Because, oh yeah, there it goes. It shows up nicely there. This ultimate rare just looks so freaking beautiful. And by the way, if you guys are curious about my loadout here, I'm using these Arcane sleeves. You can buy these at strictlysealed.com. Not sponsored by him. I just really like these sleeves. And these top loaders I'm using because this is a with D top loader binder. And if you're curious why I'm using top loaders and a top loader binder, it's because I plan on never getting rid of these cards. This is a collection I plan on having until the day I die. So there's that. Moving on, we've got just some normal spell cards, Cup of Ace, which I thought was always a meme. But over here we have Solar Recharge, which is a must-have. Not the best Lightsworn spell card, but it's got an ultra rare print and an ultimate rare print, and it's like one of the best opening plays in a Lightsworn Edison deck. So Solar Recharge, really good. Realm of Light, which is the Lightsworn field spell. And I legitimately wish this card was better than it is. I kept trying to force it, even back when I was playing like Kitchen Table Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! I always wanted this card to be better than it really is. And Hopefully one day we'll get like a retrained version of this card that's just a bit better, you know, but for now, it's a nice common, and it's like, I don't know, it's just a nice soft memory for me. Most of the rest of the spell and trap cards in the set aren't that noteworthy. They're just support for the various archetypes, but over here we've got Deck Lockdown, which was a pretty good card, and Golden Bamboo Sword, which is like a pot of greed for the Bamboo Sword archetype, and it's just a really good card. I like this one a lot. Just some more trap cards over here, as well as Arcus, Lightsworn Druid, who made it so that you couldn't have your Lightsworn cards be targeted by other effects. He was pretty nice. Over here, however, we have, I think this is the final Lightsworn card of the set, Aaron, Lightsworn Monk, the other Lightsworn secret rare, other than JD, and she just looks absolutely beautiful. This is perhaps my favorite secret rare in the set. I love how the foiling goes off of the golden accents on her outfit. I just absolutely love that. And this is a card I've played over and over again throughout Edison. I was very wrong about what her effect did. I thought that she prevented your opponent's flip effects from working, but I was wrong apparently. But regardless, that's my favorite secret in the set, and I absolutely love it. Another really beautiful secret rare is this guy over here. Let's pull you out. Dark General Freed. And his gold accent isn't as nice as Aaron, but I do still like this sinister look that this guy managed to pull off. So he's just another nice addition to the set. Not a lot else nice on this page. Magical Exemplar is pretty okay. Super Ancient Dino Beast in Ultra and Ultimate Rare. I've never been a huge fan of this card, but it is part of the set, so I'm glad to have it. And on the next page, we have Tulatin, Angel 07, and Divine Knight Ishzark nestled between them. And I'm going to tell you guys, when I was younger, I thought that these were the same card with just alternate arts. I can't possibly explain that to you guys, but hopefully you guys can understand where I'm coming. But look at Tulatin, okay? Look at Angel 07, and can you honestly tell me that these guys don't look just a suspiciously bit alike? Man, I don't know what it is about these guys, but that just weird fairy design they got going on just had me messed up. Also on this page, we have the Dangerous Machine Type 6, which came in Ultra and Ultimate Rare. Maximum 6, which came in Ultra and Ultimate Rare. And then here at the very end of the set, we have Fog King, who is a beautiful secret rare. Let's pull him out of here. I mentioned him in a top 5 GX budget cards to collect, and just look at that beautiful foiling on this guy. It's a pretty beautiful card. I'm really glad to have this one. There's also, right next to him, the final secret of the set, Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo, who, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Pachycephalo, but I know that he does have his fans in the collector's community. He's a nice card, but he loses out to Fog King, in my opinion. And then, while they aren't technically part of the first edition of the Light of Destruction, I do have a Karaz the Light Monarch and a Soul Rope in this binder, just because they are part of Light of Destruction. They're just part of the special edition for it, which is fine. I absolutely love them. But yeah, that is the entire Light of Destruction set. And this really is just a beautiful piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History, a beautiful piece of my childhood, and I'm really proud to have collected this set, and I'm looking forward to whatever my next collection goal is. And there you have it. One of my favorite sets in any TCG ever, and a collection goal that I'm very proud to have finally completed. Do you guys have collection goals of your own? If so, let me know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share it with a friend, all that wonderful jazz. I am on TCG Player. A link will be in the description below. I feel like I've failed to mention that in a lot of my previous videos. So if you want to support me like that, you can go ahead and buy from me on TCG Player. And remember, your uncle needs to get healthy. So for every like this video receives, I'll be doing a push-up in the next one. So I'll see you kids there. Ciao. My last video got 20 likes. That's 20.